and welcome to our second edition of our Ante Post head-to-head for the Cheltenham Festival. It's myself, Dean Ryan, here for the panel at Gambling.com, and joining me, Diarmuid Nolan of the Racehour. Diarmuid, how are you?
All good, Dino.
Very
All
good. Very good.
Storm's gone. We're still alive anyway, thank God. We're still alive.
Well, we are, yeah. Can I just check, for Gambling.com and, of course, our sponsors, BetVictor, that you're not a recognised licensed horse trainer?
No, definitely not. Not, thank God, no. You can pay me afterwards anyway, please. But
I just don't want the cost to jump unexpectedly, and I didn't know because we had to sort out some extra payment.
Did you see Kim Bailey this morning released a statement saying they're just ridiculous?
Well, I don't know.
Statement.
The sport promotion and an opportunity to talk about your horses and your livelihood and how you go about it and how great your owners are and how great your jockeys are and how great your horses are and how much love and care you give them. But in fact, you weren't paying for it.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Literally insane.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Well, that's great. I'm glad we cleared that up. We've had a week of this program already, of course, and we did put up a couple of tips. If you missed last week's show, I expect you need to go back and watch it. Diva Luna was put up by Diarmuid Nolan for the Mares Novices, and I put up Impere Pass, an uncertain but big chance runner in the Brown Advisory. Should they go there? Looks like they might head to Sandown rather than the DRF. That's my update from here. Hopefully it wins that. And then we'll be on to the Brown Advisory. Okay, nothing changed then from last week. Those two selections are in the can. This week, Diarmuid, I think you're going to hit a handicap horse in the Fred Winter. Why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so I am completely and utterly stealing Stephen Cass, who obviously he staged the coup that kind of, he got rid of you, Dean, and he's now our supreme leader. Stephen Cass, after Christmas, put up this horse as his notebook horse for all of Christmas. So my first instinct always is to really try and take on that horse and, rubbish it, because, my 7 cats are always the opposite. But I watched him there on Sunday behind a horse called Charles, who is definitely going for the triumph, and Holy See was second behind him. But let's just say I don't think Connections were heartbroken at finishing second. Charles now he's 20-1 for a triumph. He's not going to be, I struggle to see him maybe yet kind of competing with a Lulamba, but still he's thought highly enough that he's going straight there. And this horse Holy See, watch this run back, was a massive effort. Really, really eye catching. He needs one more run to qualify, but I think he'll get a nice mark. That race at Christmas is also working out really well. The second has won since. I think the race on Sunday was a smart race as well. Charles will go well without winning. And this horse here, he could end up on a very nice mark for kind of really shrewd yard. And at 25-1, I thought Holy See, he still needs another run to qualify. He definitely needs that, but I'd say he might get an old quiet spin around somewhere. And at 25-1 for a race like the Fred Winter, I know it's open as anything. This horse to me, though, does look quite smart. And I have to agree with Stephen Cass that I do think this price could end up looking very, very big on the day, because he looks a horse that's, to win a Fred Winter, you kind of nearly need to be a Triumph horse or just off it. And him, to me, now does look a horse that's just off that standard, Dino.
Who are those shrewd Connections, Diarmuid?
Really, really shrewd. Durkin Yard. Really good stable. The Eagle Fan, who
I remember that,
ran very well here last year. Then pitched up in the Grade 2 this year, finished third. This horse, to me now, would look not far off him. And they look to be going a little bit cuter this year, because last year Eagle Fan went in and won kind of pre-Cheltenham rather spoiled his mark. While this horse, I think they've been a bit cuter with him. And I think his mark should be a lot nicer.
Okay, needs one more run. Holy See for the Durkins. That's going in the Fred Winter, all going well. There is a bit of 33-1 around in the village. 25-1 seems a fair price to let you lock that in at Diarmuid, so I will let you do that. Holy See for the Fred Winter. That's your second selection here on the Ante Post head-to-head with Gambling.com and BetVictor. Now, I'm going for the more traditional route. And I was talking about golden rules with Ante Post betting. This one ticks those, I think, and it's work ahead in the Supreme for Henry de Bromhead. Now, I was trying to go through the Supreme because I'm not a fan of Salvatore Mundi for all the reasons that I think other people have doubts about the horse as well. For Willie Mullins and the Donnellys, the jumping doesn't look great, the settling doesn't look great. all right, it's gone there and done its business. Also ran in the Triumph, of course, last year behind Madgeborough. Now going to go and have a crack at the Supreme. For me, that has to be taken on at the current prices, right? Maybe on the day you make a different decision, but the current prices, you have to take that on. Romeo Coolio, I think, has been good without knocking the lights out. Gordon Elliott is complimentary, but at the same time, fluffed its lines first time up in what was a poor Royal Bond. Then came out and did something better. The likes of Kate Dorothy maybe won't go here. Kopek de Boards maybe will go here, but I still think there's a bit of Willie Mullins in the price and got to see a little bit more. Whereas Work Ahead, watching back the run the last day, it took my eyes out. You have to remember, his sire as well won a derby, I think, on third start. This isn't a horse maybe that needs more. And if Henry de Bromhead says doesn't need more and they'll go straight to Cheltenham for the Supreme Novices, I'd say he's right. What was interesting about it was the way he jumped. He led the field along, and it was a decent field, like a Redemption Day and things like that in behind. He led them along at a pace that was comfortable. Mikey O'Connor then just stepped up a little bit, then stepped up a little bit, then took a little pull, then stepped up a little bit. And once he gave him a little wave of the Persuader, he was away and gone. This could be very, very good. Very good. I think it's the only value left in the field at the moment until we see a bit more evidence coming up at the DRF and elsewhere. Work Ahead will go straight there. When Henry says that, we'll take it on account that he's got him in a good shape. Already won a point to point. So, fascinating horse. Fascinating horse in the Supreme is Work Ahead. Best price with BetVictor is 12-1 for the Supreme. I'm going to lock it in, Damo. Would you put me off?
Would the fact that he's not running again be a concern at all for you? No.
Well, I mean, it would be, because you'd love another win and for him to go and blow away a Salvatore Mundi or a Romeo Coolio in the process of it.
Of course, yeah.
And, the reality of it is he did everything right on that debut. What more is he going to learn? Maybe a little bit more tractable. But the way he's going to be ridden, I think, based off what you saw there, they're going to hit the front. They're going to let him sit at the front end and away you go. So does he need it practicing?
Yeah, and possibly with how bad Henry de Bromhead's horses are actually running at the moment as well. It's no harm. Maybe just leave him at home. Yeah, fair enough.
You're always been an advocate of Henry's only thinking about that day. So if he had him in shape to do that on his second start, says he doesn't need another one.
100%.
I'm not a trainer. I'll go with Henry. And if he thinks that, when you look at the market right now, that's the one you want on side before the day, because when a couple of them maybe block the copybook, or maybe one or two a step forward, it's possible. I can't imagine it'd be 12-1. Be second or third favourite on the day. There'll be good vibes from the yard, hopefully, at the time, and you'll be sitting on a nice price where you can take another view at the market. So Work Ahead is going in the book for me. So there are two selections for this week. Work Ahead, 1 point, 12-1 with BetVictor for the Supreme Novices. The best price out there in the village, I think, for Diarmuid's selection in the Fred Winter Holy See is 33s, but we're locking it in at 25-1. You've been listening to the head-to-head on the panel for the Cheltenham Festival. That was with 6 weeks to go. 5 more shows after this, Dermo. It's going to get more interesting.
It most certainly will, hopefully. Especially after the old DRF, Dean, as well. You kind of, markets tend to be as mature kind of as they're going to get by that stage. It's very, very rare after the kind of DRF.
And we get Adonis.
I was very close to putting up K Doughty this week for the Supreme, but I didn't want to get into Willie Mullins bingo this early, so I thought I'd leave that for now. But Work Ahead, very, very solid.
Take me on with it next week if you want, and we'll discuss a little bit of fallout from the DRF. Maybe next week we're allowed to, after seeing what goes through in the DRF. But the rules are the rules so far. 2 selections each on the panel, brought to you with Gambling.com, the panel, and of course BetVictor. See you next week.